Welcome back, powerful women. This is your host, Heather Yancey, with the Badass Reset Club, where we celebrate the strength and wisdom and unlimited potential of women in midlife. Today, we're diving deep into a topic that might make you squirm a little. And that's exactly the point. We're talking about intentionally doing hard and scary things as a pathway to becoming more stronger, more confident, and more aligned with your purpose. Think of it as hitting the reset button on your comfort zone and rebooting your relationship with challenge. As women over 40, we've already navigated countless challenges, but here's what I've discovered, both personally and through countless conversations with women in our community. The challenges we choose deliberately are often more transformative. So let's explore how embracing discomfort can revolutionize your physical health, your mental well-being, and your sense of purpose in this season of life. It's time for a total system restart on how we approach difficulty. So this conversation is stemming from something that I did this past weekend, something that pushed me out of my comfort zone and has stretched me and is helping me grow. And I knew it would be difficult, but I also knew that it would be exciting and it would take me to places that I've wanted to go for a long time. So many of you know I love public speaking. I love podcasting. I love talking to people. I love presenting ideas and information. However, I don't have much practice of doing it on a big stage. And that is exactly where I intend to go. So a few months ago, I signed up to be a member of the National Speakers Association Northwest chapter, the NSA Northwest. In my time at NSA, I have attended a few meetings, and in one of the meetings, it came up that there was going to be an inaugural speakers showcase that you could pay to play, so to speak. You could pay a fee and get coaching and get practice and then get on the big stage with multiple cameras and videographers and music. And I said, hell yeah, let's do this. So this past weekend was the day. And I'm going to share more of my experience with you on that. But everything that I'm sharing with you today has come from this experience just recently of how strong the connection is between getting uncomfortable and getting stronger, both physically and mentally. And ladies, this is important. So we're going to start off today with number one, the science of strength through discomfort. Let's start with something your body already knows instinctively. Genuine strength only develops when we are challenged. Think about what happens when you strength train. Those muscles don't grow when you're lifting weights that feel easy. They grow when you're at the edge of what you can handle, when those last few reps feel nearly impossible. This principle is known as progressive overload, and it isn't just about biceps and quads. It applies to every system in your body and mind. So when you expose yourself to manageable stressors, your body responds by becoming more resilient. Scientists call this hormesis. It's the biological phenomenon where appropriate doses of stress trigger adaptation and strengthening. It's like pressing the reset button on your body's capabilities. So here's what that might look like. Maria is a corporate badass that I know. She's in her late 40s, and she started taking 30-second cold showers at the end of her normal showers, 30 seconds. Now, that might seem really short, but if you've never done it, trust me, it's uncomfortable. She started with 30 seconds, and she hated every second of it at first. But after 2 weeks, she found that her tolerance started increasing. And not only did her skin look more vibrant, but she noticed something unexpected. She started speaking up more at meetings at work. The small daily practice of tolerating discomfort was resetting her default settings for handling social discomfort too. The mind-body connection works because discomfort challenges activate similar neural pathways, whether they're physical or psychological. When you deliberately practice tolerating physical discomfort, whether you're holding a plank longer than it feels like you can, or you're trying something intimidating, a new class at the gym, you're simultaneously building your overall capacity for resilience. The hormonal benefits are significant too. So, appropriate challenges trigger the release of DHEA, your growth hormone, and other regenerative compounds that become increasingly precious as we age. These hormones support our metabolism, our bone health, cognitive function, and mood regulation. All of these are so crucial for a vibrant midlife health. Each challenging workout acts like a factory reset for your endocrine system, helping it to function more efficiently. Number 2, fear as a compass, not a stop sign. So let's talk about fear. As women, we're often taught that fear is a warning to retreat, to play small, to be safe. But what if we've been misinterpreting this powerful emotion? What if fear is actually an invitation to reset how we respond to life's challenges? Fear and excitement register almost identically in your body. You get that increased heart rate, a heightened awareness, the fluttery feeling in your stomach. The primary difference isn't the physiological response, it's the story you tell yourself about what that activation means. So I want to share a technique that's been transformative for women in my community and from research that I've done. When you notice fear arising before a challenge, whether it's trying out a new class or speaking in public or even setting a boundary, you try this simple reframe. So instead of saying, I am so nervous, whether you're saying it out loud or you're saying it in your head, you tell yourself, I'm excited. Research from Harvard Business School shows that this subtle shift significantly improves performance and reduces anxiety. It's like reprogramming your emotional operating system. And here's why this works. When you interpret your body's arousal state as excitement rather than fear, you shift from a threat mindset to an opportunity mindset. Your body relaxes even while staying energized. Many women carry emotional tension in their bodies. For decades, we've been doing this. We carry it in our jaw, in our shoulders, and in our hips. But when you start approaching fear differently, you begin releasing that stored tension, which has profound effects on everything from your digestive health to chronic pain. This is exactly one of the things that I told myself this weekend as I walked from the green room downstairs up the long flight of stairs by myself backstage to get mic'd up. Instead of feeling nervous, I told myself, this is so exciting. Your fear isn't a stop sign. It's a compass pointing you towards your growth edge. And when something scares you, but doesn't put you in actual danger, that's valuable information about where your next opportunity for expansion might be. So each fear faced is a chance to reset your relationship with risk and reward. Number 3, building your courage muscle through deliberate practice. Just like physical strength, courage is a capacity that grows through consistent practice. I call this one developing your courage muscle, and it's perhaps the most underrated aspect of holistic fitness in midlife. The key to starting with what I call the 5% rule is pushing just slightly past your current comfort zone. If you've never lifted weights, you don't start with 50-pound dumbbells. Similarly, if you've never had experience in public speaking, or if public speaking terrifies you, you don't start by giving a TEDx talk. Instead, you find the edge of your comfort zone and you just step beyond it. So maybe that means speaking up in a small meeting or trying a new recipe that seems complicated. Or maybe you're going to hold that yoga pose for an extra 5 breaths than what feels comfortable. Think of it as a gentle system restart rather than a complete overhaul. I think within the fitness space, for too long, we've thought we need to do everything all at once big, and we don't. You start small. So I remember years ago, I believed that I wasn't strong enough or well versed enough to do serious weight training. I would hit the gym, and we're talking 1997 Las Vegas Gold's Gym. I would stay in the cardio section of the gym. I might use some light weights and do a bajillion reps, but I didn't really fully feel comfortable or like I was worthy to step across from the cardio zone into the weight zone. It wasn't until I became a certified personal trainer and understood proper lifting techniques and the machinery and what was what and how to program that it all shifted for me on my strength journey. But I started small. When I did this, I started small and I just went a little past what was comfortable, that 5% rule. A few years later, I was able to deadlift my body weight, but that transformation went beyond the physical strength. It improved my bone density. It helped me actively fight osteopenia. My persistent anxious thoughts started to quiet down. It gave me confidence. And perhaps most surprisingly, I found myself taking bigger risks in my career and with relationships. I completely reset my beliefs about what was possible. And this is because courage practice creates a positive feedback loop. Each time you do something challenging and survive, or even thrive, your brain registers that data point. Your implicit belief about your capabilities begins to expand. And this affects everything from stress hormone regulation to immune function to cognitive flexibility. The research on neuroplasticity, which is your brain's ability to recognize and adapt, confirms this. Your brain continues forming new neural pathways throughout your life. And when you consistently practice courage, you're literally rewiring your nervous system to make confidence your default setting rather than something you have to consciously access. Wouldn't that feel great? That is the ultimate mental reset. Number 4, the connection between challenge and purpose. So let's talk about purpose. I am a big, big believer and supporter that we should all be living our purpose. There is a profound connection between challenging yourself and clarifying what truly matters to you. Midlife is a natural time for reevaluating priorities. Your children might be growing independent. Your careers may be established or transitioning. And often we find ourselves asking, what now? What's truly mine in this next chapter? It's also the perfect moment to hit the reset button on your life's decisions. The answer rarely comes from thinking about it. I'm going to say that again. The answer rarely comes from thinking about it. It emerges through action, especially actions that stretch us beyond our comfort zone. So when you challenge yourself, you discover capabilities you didn't know you had. And these discoveries often illuminate your unique path. This connection between challenge and purpose isn't coincidental. When you engage in meaningful challenges, your brain releases neurochemicals like dopamine and serotonin and endorphins that combat depression and anxiety while enhancing motivation and clarity. You literally think more clearly and feel more alive when you're appropriately challenged. Many women in midlife struggle with a sense of invisibility or diminished relevance. Yet when we step into challenges aligned with our values, we reconnect with our inherent worthiness and unique contributions. This isn't just about proving yourself to anyone. It's about discovering and expressing the fullness of who you are. It's a complete reset of how you see yourself and your place in the world. And number 5, creating your discomfort practice. So let's get practical about implementing this in your life. I want to offer you a framework for creating your own personal discomfort practice. It's a deliberate approach to challenging yourself in ways that promote growth without overwhelming your system. First, you're going to distinguish between growth promoting discomfort and needless suffering. So, growth promoting challenges, they align with your values. They stretch you, but they don't break you. They lead towards greater capacity and they allow for appropriate recovery. Needless suffering, by contrast, depletes you without building any new strengths. So I recommend creating a balanced discomfort practice that includes physical, social, and mental challenges. What might that include? Physical discomfort practices might have trying a new form of workout that intimidates you. Maybe it is holding those planks longer or those yoga poses a few breaths more. Maybe it's adding in the cold shower, having some alternating hot and cold practice. Maybe it's a complete reset day where you push yourself beyond what your normal physical limits are, but please do that safely. If we're looking at social discomfort practice, these things might include speaking up in groups where you normally stay silent, reaching out to potential new friends or mentors, setting boundaries with people, especially when you have people-pleasing tendencies, share your creative work publicly, or hit the reset button on toxic relationships by having difficult but necessary conversations. And when we look at a mental discomfort practice, these things might include learning a new skill with a steep learning curve, engaging respectively with perspectives that challenge your worldview, meditation practices that develop focus and awareness, strategic use of positive visualization for challenges, and even a quarterly mental reset day where you question long-held assumptions. That one is tough. The key to success is community support. Neuroscience confirms that when we're wired to co-regulate, our nervous systems calibrate based on those around us. So having even just one supportive person who believes in your capacity to grow makes a tremendous difference. I encourage you to share your discomfort practice with your community, even with this podcast community. If you are on the Badass Reset Club Facebook page, we are going to be posting what our discomfort practices are. You can share your journey with someone who might be inspired or just supports you along your way. And then finally, reflection amplifies growth. So consider journaling prompts that deepen your relationship. Like journaling prompts can be, what's one hard thing that you've done in the past month that you're now grateful for? What fear, if you've conquered it, would expand your sense of possibility? What small step toward that fear feels manageable this week? How might my relationship with discomfort be affecting my physical health? What would I attempt if I truly believed in my resilience? And if I could hit the reset button on one area of my life, what would that be and why? Just things to contemplate, especially for a journal. And so as we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this thought that each time you choose to do something hard or scary, you're literally rewiring your brain and body for greater strength and resilience. You're not just challenging your circumstances, you're changing who you are. You're hitting the reset button on limitation. And I will be continuing to practice all these things as I move on to the next round of speaking engagements, to a big, big stage where you can guarantee I will be showing up with excitement. And I thank you for listening to this. I can't wait to hear what discomforts you're going to embrace so that you have strengths tomorrow. Until next time, remember that you are stronger than you know, and your capacity for growth is limitless. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time on the Badass Reset Club.